Hi and welcome back to BizJet TV. It's Fab Poli here today, and I would just like to encourage you, if you haven't done so already, to subscribe to this channel all about private aviation and aviation in general. Click on the notification bell so that every time we publish a video you will get notified, and share this video and comment below as well. Now, before we get into the video today, I am actually now collaborating with Billionaire Chronicle, which is a great magazine. Over 270,000 people reading every issue. This is distributed worldwide. If you haven't heard of Billionaire Chronicle, I suggest you click on the link and go to the magazine and subscribe. I'm writing articles. I've become their aviation advisor. It's a magazine, unlike other magazines out there, full of juicy content. It really is delivering value to the reader. So it's not one of these glossy magazines full of lovely photos of private jets and luxury villas and yachts. No, there's lots of valuable content which will help you with your business and with your life. So if you haven't done so already, just check onto the link and go and have a look at Billionaire Chronicle and subscribe, because it's a great magazine and it's going many interesting places, and we'll be organizing events as well which you can attend. So I really do encourage you to become part of this community, Billionaire Chronicle, because BizJet TV has now joined the game and we are collaborating together. Now, enough about that. Let's get into the subject for today's video. We're going to be talking about 3 reasons why you should not buy a private jet. Yes, I said not buy a private jet. So now you're saying, well, Fab, you always talk about private jets and why it's so great to have a private jet and the advantages of private jet ownership and flying private, and now you're actually saying not to buy one. Well, listen in and tune in carefully, because there are 3 reasons why you shouldn't buy a private jet. The first reason, pretty obvious, you don't have the money. So now you're saying to yourself, well, what does that money look like? How much does it actually cost to buy a private jet and to operate a private jet? Because there's 2 aspects there to the equation. Well, first of all, it all depends on your mission profile. So where are you actually going to be going in this jet? So if we take your home base or your headquarters of your company, what's the radius you're going to be traveling in? Is it 500 miles, 600 miles? Is it 2,000 miles? Is it like 2,600 miles coast to coast, LA to New York? Is it, 3,500 miles across the Atlantic? Is it, 5,000 miles over the Pacific Ocean? Where are you going to be going in your jet and how often? That will determine what jet you need. Now let's look at the low end, where you're not traveling many miles, 500-600 miles from home. You can today buy a jet for as low as $400,000. It's an older, maybe Citation 1, which is where I started flying. I started flying a Citation 1 back in the day. Great airplane. Even today, there are some really good ones on the market you can buy. You just have to be very careful when you buy one of these aircraft that it has all the modern equipment, the ADS-B. We've talked about it before on this channel, about ADS-B and the ADS-B compliancy, which is coming into effect in 2020. So make sure that airplane is equipped with that. How much would it cost you to operate something like this? Let's say you're flying 100 hours a year. You're going to spend probably around $2,000 an hour. So about $200,000 to $250,000 to operate that aircraft. So that's how much it would cost you if you were going to go for an airplane like that. If you're more in the 3,000 mile range, you're spending probably $5-6 million to buy the airplane, and you're probably spending around $3,000 an hour. If we're going to the big stuff, the G550s, the Global Expresses, the Falcon 7Xs, then in that case we are talking $10-12 million, sometimes 20, 25, 30, depending on how old or new you want your aircraft. And we are talking a ballpark figure is about $10,000 an hour to operate all in. That's the magic number that I always give to people. Obviously, a careful analysis of your mission profile is important to understand who you are, where you're going, landing fees and all that kind of thing, to give you an exact figure of how much it's going to cost you and your team to operate the particular private jet. So that's number 1. If you don't have the money, then you don't buy the jet. And now you know how much it costs to actually operate a private jet. Number 2, you don't travel enough. So if you have one of these businesses where you can work from home or you can work from one location, all of your business can be run pretty much online. You don't really need to travel much. Maybe you're traveling 3 or 4 times a year for business and maybe 2 or 3 times a year with your family on vacation. In that case, you don't really need to buy a private jet unless you've got a lot of money and you just want the advantage of having your own airplane sitting there at the airport. So in this case, what you would do is charter when you need a jet. You'd find a local charter company, or you'd find a trusted broker which will then find you an aeroplane every time you need to fly. Reason number 3 to not buy a private jet is that you have a number of different people in your organization that need to go to different cities or countries at the same time. I have this with a client right now who's based in southern Florida, and his team need to go out on the same day, maybe some to New York, some to LA, some up to Toronto or Vancouver. Realistically, he needs, sometimes during the week, he will need 2 or 3 airplanes on the same day. What do I do? Sell him 1 airplane? No, that won't work. Sell him 3 airplanes? I'd love to do that, but honestly, it wouldn't work for him. Why should you buy 3 airplanes when you are flying, 250 hours a year, but in many different directions? In that case, it's best to do a deal with a local charter company or use a trusted broker to find you a solution to be able to have multiple aircraft. The other option, which is what some people do, is they buy 1 airplane and then they have a jet card, or they have a deal with a local charter company for supplemental lift, as they call it. So that's the solution. So just to recap here, 3 reasons why you shouldn't buy a private jet. Number 1 is you don't have the money, and we talked about how much it costs to buy and operate a private jet. Number 2 is you don't travel enough to justify having your own airplane. And number 3 is you have the need to fly different people at the same time in different locations, which means you would need 2, 3 airplanes instead of 1. And it doesn't really justify you buying 3 aircraft, maybe not even 1. In that case, you need to do a deal with a local charter company. So that's all from Fab Poli here at BizJet TV. Remind you once again to click on the link and go and have a look at the Billionaire Chronicle. Lots of interesting content there. Subscribe to the magazine. If you haven't already subscribed to BizJet TV, do so here. Press on the subscribe button. Click on the bell to be notified every time we publish a video. Comment below, share this video, and that's all from Fab Poli at BizJet TV. I'll see you on the next one.